Welcome back to another tier list by SenVale for Operation Brutal Storm. Here we're going to talk about the best attackers in Rainbow Six Siege. We're going to do a tier list for the attackers in Rainbow Six. So the Jaeger is going to be the placeholder for Grim. So we're just doing the attackers today. But we are going to use Jaeger as the placeholder for Grim. So Jaeger, we're going to place little Grim at C. I mean, honestly, Grim doesn't really have anything extra that other ops can't already bring. Like, your ability is paired well with other operators, but like, begs the question, if you're gonna use his ability, why not use push the red, why not use an ability to like actually clear them, like a grenade or like whatever. Like, it doesn't actually bring any extra oof to the table. So honestly, Grim I think sits very safely at C. In higher comp level, it could potentially be a B, but right now I see him being a C. Sledge, S tier. There's a reason why Sledge has played so much. Decent soft reach, can work the vert here with the 200. Let's go. Sledge can work the floor, can open soft reach, good entry, decent guns, and has grenades. Grenades are extremely good, and not that many operators that are decent on the attack round are going to have access to the grenades. And every single one of the attackers that have grenades, besides maybe one, are all really strong. We'll talk about that when we get to them. Thatcher, extremely strong. If they have anything that you are having problems on clearing or opening, Thatcher, it's all gone, at least temporarily. It solves it out. Guns are okay. I mean, that's just the reason why he's banned so much, is he just makes it really easy to be able to push through anything. Jaeger at C is a war crime. This is not Jaeger, this is Grim. I know Grim's not on this list, so this is a placeholder for Grim. I'll probably have to say that multiple times, so people help me on that. Thermite, S tier. Excellent hard breach. When you want to open a big hole in the wall, Thermite is how you do it. I mean, massive hole in the wall, everything's good to go. I mean, there are other hard breaches in the game that can open walls, but Thermite is that if you want that big opening where you can just walk through, run through, have tons of angles on, is great. Thermite is amazing. So excellent hard breach. Ash, honestly a little buffed in the new season Brutal Swarm. I mean, I feel like Ash as a whole has been buffed in a way because of Finka getting nerfed. So Ash, I'm gonna say, sits at the B tier. Decent, solid entry. There are better options, but definitely solid entry. I mean, guns are solid no matter how you pick it, but utility wise, honestly, you are gonna be dropping the ball a little bit. Ash charge is solid, but it's not as strong as another operator, which we're going to talk about right now when I find her. Zofia is an S tier, even with the LMG nerf. Zofia is really strong. The 1.5 in the AR is great. Zofia has impacts like Ash, and also concussions, and you know, basically everything that Ash has, but a little bit more. So Zofia, I think, is going to be that go-to entry pick going forward. So be on the lookout for that. Montaigne, very situational. When used properly, can be very strong, but very situational. Only gonna be used occasionally and very seldom. So can push forward. Basically functions like the boot from Mario. Basically, if enemies are looking at you, you can't put your shield down and react to them. But if they look away from you, then you attack. So it's here, definitely solid. Twitch is a little rough. I'm gonna place Twitch at the A tier because Twitch does have some counters. The F2 by itself is honestly S tier, but Twitch's utility is a little bit lower. So I'm gonna place Twitch at the A tier. Is this Twitch not gonna be in the video? Yes, I would not do anything crazy. So enjoy all that text chat. So Twitch at the A tier. Don't worry, Johnny is all going to the YouTube right here, bang, which we will be doing another game after. If we hit up the YouTube, if you guys hit the YouTube, make sure to subscribe. Guess what, we'll do some more games after this. All right, and then we got the Twitch, decent utility, decent gun. I mean, nothing really bad with Twitch, nothing really, I mean, Twitch, there's a lot of good with Twitch, but this doesn't have any like extra utility. So all right, we have the Fuse C tier. Situational, not bad. AK is great. The LMG has been nerfed, so the LMG has been nerfed. So, but the AK is really still really strong, especially with the 1.5. Great. We'll have a hard breach guy that can do a lot, but definitely very situational. Not going to be used too often, occasionally, but not too bad. You can see this is a placeholder for Grim. This is a placeholder for Grim. This is attacker tier list. Sorry for those that are just coming in if you're confused. Might be. Class, place him at the C tier. We're gonna place Class actually at the. Yeah, we're gonna place him at the C tier. He does have access to grenades, but so do other operators that are also really good. But you're not picking Glass just for grenades. You're picking him more for his smokes and his utility. It is very situational when you're going to use his gadget, and he does get countered fairly hard. So I could be a B tier, but my gut's saying he's a C tier operator. So he's gonna stay at the C tier for now. Next up, Blitz. Definitely on par with Montaigne. I mean, kind of like the Montaigne, very used in very situational positions. Really push people out, more for rushing. It can work occasionally, but not something you want to rely on too often, but it can definitely get the job done. Ash at B, yes, Ash at B. Ash is good, but there's a lot of operators that are better. Every op ahead of her is definitely a better operator than Ash. That is for damn sure. In terms of gun and ability. All right, IQ, situational operator. IQ needs her nades back. When the second IQ has her grenades back, low-key she's at A or S, but right now it's here. Very situational when you are dealing with, like, let's say you're trying to counter a Valkyrie or counter something very specifically. Let's go, Kiera. No more ads. Hey, that is Grim. So IQ, definitely solid, but situationally, you're gonna want to use it to counter something specifically that the defenders are doing to you. Buck, this is when it starts to get a little harder. Buck, I am going to place at the A tier. A little situational sometimes, but very strong every time that Buck is chosen. Buck can do it all. Skeleton's key for the soft breach, decent gun, hard breach gadget, and flash if you want it. I mean, Buck can do it all. Buck is really solid, really strong up. His gun can be a little hard to use, but overall DPS is just great if you can learn to control our recoil. Very strong. Jaeger is adds the ruiner for me. Well, it'll be on YouTube, so like literally tomorrow morning. So Capital, I'm gonna place again at the C tier, being a fairly situational operator. Not bad, not great, but just actually, yeah, I think C tier is fine. Can be good. I mean, the fires and smokes, you have a lot of options on, you know, post plant and pre plant, like decent gun para. I'm not saying decent guns because the LMG was nerfed, and you are also going to have a hard breach gadget. So Capital isn't necessarily a bad pick, but is going to be a little bit more of a situational pick. So Blackbeard, this is our first D tier operator. Blackbeard got nerfed into oblivion. Honestly, Blackbeard is little butt. His little butts. His shield is strong occasionally in a very specific situation, but overall he's just slow. His gun is bad. His utility is lackluster. Honestly, there's nothing really great about Blackbeard. There's no reason that you should ever have a Blackbeard nowadays. It is a little annoying to die to a Blackbeard, but yeah. The only reason why Glass is C and not potentially D is because he does have grenades. Low-key, Glass could be a B because he does have grenades. So you could make that argument, but I'm going to leave him at C for now because I just think that that gun is very situational. Hibana, S tier. Do we need to talk about this? Hatch King, decent gun, flashbang utility, 3 speed. I mean, everything about Hibana is great. No, there's literally nothing wrong. Thermite and Hibana are both good hard breachers. They're used in different types of scenarios, but they're both really strong in their individual scenarios. Jackal. We're gonna place Jackal at the we're gonna place Jackal at the B tier. Yeah, we're gonna place Jackal at the B tier. Helps with the roam clear, but isn't necessarily needed for the roam clear. It just makes it a lot easier, and it's really hard to roam when there's Jackal on board. Like I said, the reason why he's a B tier, not up higher, is because late round when the roam is done, honestly, Jackal can't really do too much. later in the round. So B tier, I think, is fairly solid for the Jackal. Not much to say. I want to do one controversial one that you guys are gonna love. Finka. Finka is a C tier operator in the new season of Brutal Swarm. Why is Finka a C tier operator? Finka used to be so strong. What happened to Finka? Well, that LMG is butt, and Finka lost her grenades. So Finka with LMG and grenades, S tier, no question. Best operator in the game. Losing grenades, ouch, A tier. Losing grenades as well, ouch. No. Finka Spear. So let's talk about Finka Spear. Finka Spear has a 1.5 or I think maybe a 2x. Flashbangs, and I believe you have. I think you have smokes. I'm not really sure. Maybe breach. I'm not too confident on that. But the spear itself, mediocre damage, mediocre fire rate, and recoils a little bit. Finka is honestly not going to be used very much unless you really like the heals, which the heals are pretty nice as Finka. So seldomly you are going to see Finka on the board, but in terms of overall utility and gun power, like it's just Finka, just very, very minimalistic. Definitely sits in this C tier, and every other operator higher has a very specific purpose on why you choose this operator most of the time. Finka is more like the I want to heal people. I don't really have a general push. I just want to run around, shoot, and try to heal my friends when they get into firefights. So Ace, S tier operator. Not necessarily because of a hard breach, but Ace is the strongest in combatant as a hard breacher. So like in terms of Thermite versus Hibana versus Ace, Ace is the best hard breacher in terms of one-on-one firefights. Ace's gun is crazy good. That AK is nuts. His breaching ability is, I would want to say, is on kind of on par with Hibana in terms of wall opening. The wall opening Ace is kind of mediocre, but Ace is definitely S tier. Like he is a hard breach that basically doubles as an entry frag. Thermite is a hard breacher. Hibana is a hard breacher. Ace, honestly, you put a entry frag or you put a shooter on Ace, open up a wall, and basically that's why you see so many times in Pro League you'll see an Ace and then like a Thermite, because the Ace operator isn't going to function just like a hard breacher. He's going to function like a shooter. Yeah, I've played on the TS. I've played for weeks on the TS against Pro League players, so I have a general idea on how this is going to work for Brutal Swarm. So Hibana's gonna 10x better? No, it's not. Ace AK with a 1.5 is way better than Hibana's by far. Not even comparable. All right, next up. And if you have disagreement, make sure to leave it on my YouTube comments and explain why. Don't just say you tier this bad. Be like, have a reason. Be like, I think that this is this because of this reason, and so on. There you go. All right. Yang. I'm gonna place the Ying at the B. Hard breach gadget, decent ability for initiating that push, and the gun isn't bad. Lower than Buck for hard breach gadget because I feel like Buck has that soft destruction ability as well as, you know, has a little bit more going on than Ying, but Ying is still good. Ying is still good. You better than Finka? Oh, hell yeah. New season? Oh, 100%. Finka's mediocre as hell. There's the reason why I have played 20 FPL games, which are all past 50 minutes to an hour long. So basically 20 hours of the new season against and with Pro League level players. And Finka has not been chosen a single time on either side. Not a single time. Not once. Not one time. The only time that she was brought is when I brought her, and she was mediocre as hell, and I never brought her again. So, because you can't use the LMG. The LMG, I'm having to pull after 20 bullets all the way off my mouse pad. So you have to use the spear if you want to even have a chance, and that spear is not great. So, can be used. Like, if you're good with Finka, you could be a B or an A tier with this, but overall, I just think sits very safely at the C tier. The heal is really strong though, so like, you know, that's why it is C tier, not D tier, but you know, Situationally, I feel like is not going to be played super often, but occasionally might see some playtime. C tier is that tier of you might see some playtime with this op, but overall is probably not going to be chosen too often. This is great, by the way, in case you guys were wondering. I haven't said it in a while. There you go. All right, Doke. Tied up there with the Jackal. Doke is great for the roam clear. Doesn't help too much after the roam clear, but very strong on the roam clear game. Right there with Jackal. Low-key, both these operators could potentially be an A tier, but I'm going to leave them at B tier right now just to kind of spread out the board a little bit. So, decent up. DMR is great. I mean, DMR is kind of mediocre in terms of all the attacker guns. As a defender, it's pretty good, but she also has access to decent secondaries, which are pretty great. If you guys ever seen Bolo running around with that C75, is pretty strong. So, yeah. All right, next up, Maverick. Maverick got a little bit of a bump from S tier. Maverick is going down this next upcoming season, in my eyes at least, down to the B tier. This is going to be controversial as hell. Maverick lost grenades. That was a nerf to Maverick. But why else is Maverick at B tier and not higher up than that? There are EMP impacts in this game now. So there's multiple quote-unquote Thatchers in this game. Like operators that are actually solid that can basically somewhat function as Thatcher without having Thatcher. So let's say like Lion, as well as Osa, as well as Dokkaebi. Actually, Doke can go up a tier purely because of that. Actually, now that I think about it, Doke can be A tier because you can run EMP impact and then go help roam clear. Doke can kind of do it all. Like EMP impacts are great. Lion is easy A tier. I mean, we're going to talk about that when I get to it, but Lion is easy A tier. But Maverick is B tier because, yeah, you can open the wall by yourself, but it is dangerous, it is hard, and you can die while doing it. You pair Thermite with let's say, someone with EMP impacts, and the wall gets open pretty easily. But SenVale, can't they just bandit trick? Well, yeah, they can, but bandit tricking requires a lot of things to go right, and in higher level elo it is really hard for all those things to go right, because you're gonna bandit trick one thermite charge, and then we're gonna deal with you, and we're gonna get that wall open. Like, you're not gonna get away with it. For those of you sitting on placing operators, because I am gold, I am a champion for 9 seasons in a row on PC. I play in FPL, aka Face It Pro League, with and against the pros for a $5,000 prize pool every month. Here, I'll show you guys right here, because I'm not just gonna say it, I'm gonna physically show you. Here's FPL Rainbow Six. Here you have me with the pros. Here's Dream, Razor, Giddy. Where's Bolo at? Bolo's on here. There's Rexin, all that fun stuff. So you guys can get butt hurt all you want and say I'm a gold, but that's not actually the case. All right, so next up, let's go Lion. We already talked about Lion a little bit. Lion, EMP impacts, actually really good gun. Like, that gun is actually scary stable. It just, Lion just hasn't been like an operator that's been in the lineup for a while, so like people forgot that his gun is actually kind of nuts. 50 bullets, really stable gun, and it has EMP impact, so you pair Lion with a hard breach and it's actually pretty nice. It's pretty nice. So, and if you're not going to pair a Lion with a hard breach, pair an Osa with a hard breach, because Osa has a shield and it also has EMP impacts. You can also run smoke if you want, but a lot of times I'll pair a hard breach, let's say a clubhouse, with an Osa and open up the wall with the hard breach player, and then place my shields down. Osa could low-key be an S tier operator, but there's something about it. It's just really easy to counter those shields and higher elo, so I'm gonna leave Osa at the A tier. So, all right, who else? We have the Nomad. Nomad, A tier flank watch. When you need a flank watch, and I mean, Nomad's just really strong. I'm gonna place the Nomad at the A tier. Nomad's gun is great. Nomad's ARX was buffed to all hell. Think Ayana from pre-nerf. You're gonna have a 1.5 scope. You have a vertical grip. Ayana never had access to a vertical grip or a horizontal grip. Now we'll have access to that, so recoil will be a little bit easier to control. And those air jabs are no joke, especially in lower elo. Like, those air jabs are going to save your team's life. So flank watch, great. Best flank watch in the game by far. Bit of flank watch. here we have Gridlock. Gridlock, C tier. Very situational. Very situational. Flank watch does have 4 tracks, so that is a lot to deal with. If you just want to huck it down, you know, you can get a lot done with that, sure. But I just feel like Nomad's flank watch is superior to Gridlock. Gridlock has some decent weaponry, but Nomad being a 2-speed, Gridlock being a 3-speed, it's just you're kind of limited on what you can do as Gridlock. So we'll have a secondary shotgun, so it's not like Gridlock's not bad, but I'm definitely not going to see a ton of gameplay, a ton of game time. So yeah. Amaru, let's talk Amaru. Beats here. A little bit situational, like kind of Monty and these guys, but like in terms of Amaru, it's going to have a lot more situations that can be used and can be used to take over a lot of map control very easily, and has access to a lot of decent weapons. So Amaru is a fragger that can get in a lot faster than you'd expect. Honestly, Amaru can't be higher than this. Like, this is max tier for Amaru, but when used, you are going to feel the impact. Especially if you put a fragger on this op, is you can just run around the map like a maniac and get up and down and left and right all over the place as fast as you possibly can and make plays. This is Grim. For those that don't know, it's a placeholder, so Grim is C tier. All right, let's go to Nook. Nook, it's an S tier operator. Do I need to explain this? Suppressors were buffed, so yes, recoil is a little rough if you run a suppressor, so that is a little annoying. But on a gun like the FMG for Nook, which is an SMG, the recoil isn't that bad. So now this is a purely silent operator. If you want, you can run around, no footstep audio, no gun audio, and run fully suppressed and really play Rainbow Six Going Dark. And you also have grenades, so you can sneak around downstairs, roam clear a little bit, sneak around, find a roamer, drag them out, and then throw some grenades from underneath and make some defenders pay for it. So boom, straight up. One of the only operators with grenades as well. Speaking of which, another operator with grenades. Boom. See, there's a pattern here. Sledge, Nook, Ayana, all have grenades. Ayana, probably the best duelist in Rainbow Six Siege. In 1v1 fights, Ayana is an amazing operator. The ARX or G36, really great for just, you know, 1-on-1 fights. Kind of think the spiritual successor of Ashe. So that's why Ashe is this far down, purely because Ayana exists. So grenades, gadget, really good for just a little bit of a Rooney Gate burn or just a little bit of intel gathering. So not bad to like use as a secondary entry to help join your primary entry in using a clone. Definitely catches people off guard. So really great, strong, and has grenades. So Cali, this is going to be a little bit of a controversial one, and this is going to be purely based on the fact that I've seen crazy players play this up. I'm placing Cali at the beats here. Cali is like Glaz. You can burn like shields and take off utility with their gadget, but that gun, especially the gun getting buffed that you can shoot it faster, is honestly kind of nuts. Cali is pretty nuts. If you put a shooter on Cali and they can actually like, they can actually aim, Cali is going to rip faces off. And like just Peaks has said, statistically, Cali was the strongest attack op. So I'm not surprised. Anytime Cali was chosen, someone probably had an idea in their head that was probably going to work. Anytime Cali is picked, it's honestly kind of scary. Cali 8 tier recoil got buffed. I don't think she's strong enough to be in the 8 tier, but definitely is very solid B tier operator. Very solid. This is attack only. Jaeger is Grim. This is a placeholder for Grim, so that's why it's just attacks right now. Okay. We have Zero. People hated me last time about this, but I'm gonna do it again. I don't even care. Zero at the D tier. Let's talk why. He has 4 little cameras. Granted, attackers get 10 cameras altogether already, so his ability is more cameras. Okay. What else does he get? Well, he gets Gone 6. Okay, that's not bad. That's okay. That's pretty good. He also gets a Harbridge gadget. Okay. What else does he get? Well, that's kind of it. He's basically a Swiss Army knife of doing a little bit of everything, but doesn't master anything. So if you want to bring a little bit of everything, there's better options. Like I would rather bring a Buck, let's say, instead of a Zero, or a Ying instead of a Zero. Like Buck also has a Gone 6, so there's better options than the Zero in my eyes. Zero will get to see some playtime in, let's say, Pro League, because a lot of times Intel will win, but like in like ranked play, or hell, even like most of the time, like you're just not going to see a 0 played very often. Like it's just not going to get that much game time because it is such a very situational op that most of the time you're either going to want a buck or a ying or something, or you're going to want a nomad for actual flank watch. It's just better. Like it's just going to be better. Doke at A tier is kind of crazy, not gonna lie. EMP impacts. You forget. EMP impacts. New season, brother. This is Brutal Swarm. This is not what you remember from I don't remember what it's called. Vector Glare. There we go. I forgot. Flores, B tier. The only reason why Flores is B tier and not higher is because he's just countered so easily by an operator that's chosen a lot, and that is Mute. Flores is easily an A to an S tier operator, but he's just countered so hard by the Mute jammers, but he is still really strong if you can work your way around that util. Honestly, it feels like travesty to place Flores lower than A tier, but I just feel like in terms of just picking Flores on a day-to-day, he is just a B tier operator because Mute exists. But with the EMP will be A tier? True. Okay, you're right. So if you are playing with a very coordinated stack, having someone like that has EMP gadgets, like EMP grenades, you can make Flores a little bit stronger. Because you can get that first initial Mute jammer, and once you get that first Mute jammer, you can get your drones in and kind of work all that utility. So okay, I'll meet you halfway on that one. That was good. Bro said Jaeger D tier? No, Jaeger is C tier, and that's only because Jaeger is a placeholder for Rim. This is attacker tier list. Speaking of Sens D tier. I will fight everybody on this. Sens is the worst attacker in Rainbow Six Siege. Now I'm including Blackbeard. The worst attacker in Rainbow Six Siege, by far. Why, SenVale? Well, that gadget's butt. Capital's smokes are better. Normal smoke grenades are better. Why is Sens's smoke so bad? It makes a big line of makes a big line, SenVale. Why is it bad? Well, it takes a lot of practice to use it correctly. If you mess up at all, it's gone. And defenders can impact or nitro or explode your smoke trail. So let's say you smoke off, let's say Organ Elbow, and you're running in. All a defender needs to do is throw a nitro at the smoke or throw an impact at the smoke, and then ta-da, they can see you. You are not hidden anymore. And then you have impacts, and I believe at Gone 6, no, you have a Gone 6 as well as Hard Breach gadget, so you can do a little bit of everything. So Sens is kind of like that operator that can do a little bit of everything, but isn't good at really anything, and the guns are bad. Zero, I can at least say Zero could be a C tier operator. I just see Zero being a little bit worse. Low-key, I'll just place Zero here. That's fine. At least Zero has a good gun. Sens doesn't even have a good gun. Sens is horrible altogether. Zero at least has good weapons. Like, Sens has nothing good. There's nothing good with Sens. I can't name a single thing that is better than any other operator listed already. In terms of ability, Zero at least has a gun that is arguably one of the strongest guns in Rainbow Six. That is true. All right, is that it? I think that's it for attackers. Yeah, that's it. This is our attacker tier list. So, do you guys have anyone that you feel like that should move up or down, left or right? Let me know. What do you guys think? Are we good here? I think we're good here. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube, make sure to drop down below in the comments and tell me why you believe an operator should go up or down. Make sure to say why, like with some detail. Don't just say bad tier list, SenVale. You are dumb. No, that's I need you to be like, okay, I think Twitch should be B tier because Twitch is blah 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 blah. Like, explain. Maverick can stop bandit tricking so easy. True, but how often is bandit tricking actually done? We're gonna get to that. Don't worry, we're doing the defender tier list right after this. Right now. All right, guys, make sure to subscribe, drop a comment, and leave a like for more. Peace out, guys.